And we're going to Krakoa. Keep in mind, this map number 1 is randomly decided by the system itself. None of these teams have any influence in terms of what map we get. The only condition is that we will always have domination be the first map. And as we do move on into the picks, bans, and locks, so far it's been nearly identical, if not quite literally. No, it's slightly different. Albeit the same 3 characters being either picked or what was it, locked or banned away. But both sides this time in this map number 1 is going to be Magneto being locked away for both of these teams.
I mean, it's a flip of the coin, right? Like, sometimes we get one of each being banned out, so then they secure themselves the other Vanguard that's available. But in this case, you know, they fortunately or unfortunately both simultaneously ban out the Emma Frost. So it's going to be Magneto on board and the Wolverine lock-in for a lone flit. Oh, very, very interesting. Once again, going to that week 1 meta, Sung-Juk Woo possibly running a Spider-Man coupled with a lone flits on the Wolverine has done intense work on any sort of domination matches with a fall off, right? To be able to kidnap beautifully.
Yeah. And that sort of a skill needs to be present when you're playing this Wolverine, being able to just kidnap a flyer or a Vanguard as well. It's just a matter of decision as to what these Wolverine players want to opt for. But for now, yeah, Wolverine, a strong pick in general, especially to counter these Vanguards that are just so tanky up in the front line. And if you are able to just get rid of it or even just shred one down, it's going to make things significantly easier for your team to work with. And it does provide a little bit of that pseudo front line, especially with that Wolverine as well.
Yeah, very much indeed. As we move into the beautiful Krakoa landscape here, this first point is relatively open to say the least, but there's some high ground perches around the peripherals that, you know, kind of will shape the way these teams want to be able to assemble their heroes. Dive is a possibility, but there's a lot of potential for like long distance pokes as well.
Yeah, like you see on the screen right there, the portal being one of those tools that some of these teams might use when playing on this map, but portals will show up eventually as Sung-Juk Woo and Alone Phils are going to be best buddies. As Sung-Juk Woo not opting for a dive character, dive duelist, I should say, sorry, and will opt for a dive Vanguard instead. Sung-Juk Woo, we haven't seen him on the Hulk very often, so it's going to be interesting to see him cook on it.
And already they're diving that back line. The slice and dice from a lone fist couple with the Hulk will do damage, but not enough to take anyone else. 12 players remain in stack as Sung-Juk Woo goes back for seconds, and now the dance around this pillar will start.
Yep, both teams doing what they can to provide the damage. Just charge up those ultimates. You could argue that this is one of the more slower times of this match, but Sung-Hoon is going to draw first blood as he is able to take out Sung-Juk Woo, one of the vanguards of XOXO01. A great kidnap coming in as another trade comes in. Sung-Hoon is able to pop that Rage of Ultron and will zone every one of XO back.
And the stagger as well as Ritzy, hungry for more, trying to maybe get a bit more chip damage, but great start for the side of Crazy Raccoons, right? The Flyers coming in strong, and at the moment this forces a lone flip to maybe change up to the Namor, having to poke a bit more. High vision on the Punisher that we've seen so strong so far. It might do a bit of damage against a Vital as well as Sung-Hoon taking to the skies.
I like XOXO01's adjustment here, putting Alone Phils on the Namor to just use the squids to prevent any sort of dive, but you can't really use the squids if you're dead. And Alone Phils will be just that, just taken to the sidelines. Great bubble to combine with the final judgment as XOXO01 want to force their way back onto the site, and they're going to be able to high vision with the double and is able to secure the point relatively quickly, as Crazy Raccoon are only able to bring themselves up to 41%.
Yeah, but they take note of XOXO. They also use their invisible boundary, so not much moving into the next fight. Maybe a Meteor M. Probably if they can work that up. Yep, that's going to be in the works here as we go for a full team teleport onto the back line. And Sunghun's going to start at least taking down these squiddies as the team fight will erupt around this back line terrain.
Ooh, great supernova to deny the turret from High Vision, but High Vision is able to find a trade before he goes down. As more and more trades, 2 for 2 so far, and it's a dead even trade. Fate of Both Worlds going to be popped by Rebirth, but is there any strategist ultimates to counter on the side of XOXO01? The answer is a resounding no, as Hong Juk-woo forced to use the Hulk smash and is able to smash Rebirth into the death timer as another great stun coming in from Sung Juk-woo.
Wow.
Spider-Man be damned, this guy can absolutely cook on the Hulk right now.
I mean, why aim if you can just clap back from that perspective? I love the way they play it, you know. It's a high risk, high reward perspective, because if you can't time your leaps in time, you can really get caught off guard, which is I think what happened in their early first game. The early first few percentages for the side of Crazy Raccoon. But once again, the teleport being used, they want to get rid of all these squids that are being a bit of a nuisance, but the Rage of Ultron will catch Puny Banner, will be dissolved with immediacy, and JT3 with a beautiful meteor to start snowballing their way onto the site.
Yeah, that meteor denies Rez's Eternal Bond, so it's going to be EXO left without a strategist ultimate of any sort of value, as the invisible boundary going to be popped by Ace to just keep EXO on the point, on the site, as Alonefils is able to snipe down Vital, as Alonefils with the Namor adjustment proving to be valuable, as the last stand going to be popped as well. Hyon going to top things off with a dance, as EXO should be able to dance themselves back to a victory, but Hyon wants something to say about it, as Crazy Raccoon are able to retake the site.
Beautiful kind of readjustments, right? The J-Mac as well as Heian coming out with ultimates of their own. The duelists making a show of themselves. We've seen J-Mac mostly in the Vanguard. Actually, yeah, speaking of which, hops onto the Captain America, perhaps can do a bit more value. You can't just wait for a final span to explode. But okay, XOXO taking a leaf out of the same book here to be able to take this backside and the final judgment to kick things off.
Yep, Final Judgment going to be popped immediately. There's the great response from Rebirth with the Fate of Both Worlds. Sunghun knows that he doesn't have to stack these strategist ultimates just yet, as he is going to hold onto the Rage of Ultron until a better moment. But will that better moment arrive, as these trades are going in favor of Crazy Raccoon, and everyone on EXO need to run for the hills?
They do indeed, and this is only one more time that Crazy Raccoons will be able to fight, or rather XOXO will be able to touch. It forces out the portal coming from High Vision, a bit of a change up here, taking to the skies, wanting to force things up. High on that back line, it's gonna quickly find Puny Banner.
Oh no, Sung Juk-woo going down, Alonefils as well. This is bad news for XOXO01. Crazy Raccoon might just make a great comeback. Despite EXO reaching match point or round point first, it seems like Crazy Raccoon have the upper hand for the time being, but so far no one is budging. No one wants to give up this site, but Vital is able to find Sung Juk-woo, who did adjust to the Spider-Man, and it looks like Crazy Raccoon should be able to, in a moment's notice, be able to take round number 1.
Wow, what a furious comeback from Crazy Raccoons, right? To be able to come up with some great plays off the bat, some great ultimate utility. Honestly, it could have gone either way, Dan. I felt like it was a bit of a flip of the coin, because both teams were trading so well, managing their ultimates so well as well.
Yep, but for now, do a quick little checkup on everyone's ultimate status. Everyone on Crazy Raccoon aren't quite close to their ultimates just yet. The only closest really is Rebirth with the Fate of Both Worlds at 73%. And you look on the flip side, EXO definitely on paper have the upper hand in terms of which characters will get their ultimates first. And EXO have more of those characters that are quite close, albeit halfway. But for now, it does seem that EXO should have the ultimate advantage for the time being.
They do. Honestly, whenever a Wolverine tucks into a Hulk, this is the funniest thing to me. It's like my little baby as I send a flying madman through the air with 6 claws. I mean, that's ridiculous. But that's the strat, right? You get Alone Flits in the backside here, hunting for a pick. Can launch themselves in. They can feral leap themselves out, and hopefully be able to isolate these fights. As Crazy Raccoons now, once again, having good aerial domination on this site. There's a lot of airspace they can have, but it's going to be on Hyson to maybe fire things back.
Whoa, Zeta is a little bit isolated, a little bit too far forward, and is able to just get taken away as a great leap from Alone Fills. Able to trade back as Hyon is going to go down. JT3 and High Vision going to provide trades for their respective teams, as this site is in full control of Crazy Raccoon as that percentage is going up. But High Vision able to lay down the hurt, able to land down the hit scan. He's doing the best to try to force XO onto the site, but it's looking a little bit difficult as Zeta is back into the fight. Final Judgment now is going to signify the initial push coming from XOXO01. That's going to be a triple in favor of XOXO01 thanks to this high DPS Final Judgment.
Oh, that was absolutely disgusting. Also, I want to shout out to Ace, who basically pulled Sung-hoon towards the Final Judgment, not letting the Ultron be able to shift their way whatsoever. So, some great coordination and micro plays coming out from the set of XOXO to reclaim their site. It's going to be on these flyers to maybe make some space. The blind comes out to maybe hold back the advancements against Crazy Raccoons, but once again, Rage of Ultron, they fire back with Meteor M, finding one. Alone Flits finds a second as well. XOXO wants to hold on to this point. Sung-hoon is in deep trouble, as well as the Feral Leap, finding value. Alone Flits, despite being, floor-bound, will find the Ultron and is hungry for more. Will steal away J-Mac from XOXO. And from Crazy Raccoons, and XOXO continue their rampage here.
Yeah, they need to keep this point for themselves. They are down 1 round right now. This will tie things up. But for now, XO reached the halfway point first. But they still have a bit of ways to go if they want to secure a round number 2. Here we go. Ace going to kick things off with the invisible boundary. Rebirth is holding on to that Fatal Both Worlds. Not going to quite use it just yet. Hulk Smash also available for Sungjuk Woo. But is it really going to be needed as JT3 is able to open things up? Vital able to follow up as well, as it looks like Crazy Raccoon are in pole position to retake this site.
Indeed, right? Just falling off the map, making sure they don't stagger and provide, more ultimate percentages to their opponents. One thing I want to mention is that I feel like no one's really taken to the high ground just yet, and it's really because of the play styles that they have. High Vision is basically the only long range poker that's ground based, and so having a singular kind of Punisher on that high ground is not going to do anyone's favors. Might as well play with the rest of the team, as right now Crazy Raccoon's being challenged with the force kind of push through Hulk in effect to be able to take this site for their own.
It's a matter of, can Sungjuk Woo find the important target here? He's getting dangerously low, is forced back away, doesn't want to force out the mini Hulk just yet, but Hyon is able to find a pick on the Zeta. That's 1 Vanguard down. Ace going down on the side of XOXO01, and Crazy Raccoon just follows suit. They are able to just run right over.
Yeah, Sung-hoon doing so much work at the moment as an Ultron, to say the least, and now they're hunting. Look at this combination between Hyon and J-Mac, right, to be able to maybe get some flanks, plus the Dance of the Butterflies comes in to be able to slice and dice. Too many targets though, so not much value to be made, and we'll be able to be out of action. Meanwhile, on the XOXO side, High Vision will pop the Final Judgment, trying to make a namesake for themselves on this site.
Here he goes. Alone Phil is going to get thrown in, but it's going to force out the Fate of Both Worlds for the time being. 12 seconds of constant healing and sustain as the invisible boundary from Ace. It will be the response. Should be well timed, as Alone Phil is going to find another kidnap onto JT3. No one on any team going down just yet until Rez is the first to fall, but so many particles between these portals. But Crazy Raccoon, they need a hold, they need to retake the site, as XO somehow were able to take control, but somehow, some way, they're still fighting, kicking, and screaming to keep the point alive. JT3 and Hyon are able to team up and take down 2 on Lone Fills. Is going to be the sole survivor for now, as Bruce Banner is going to be popped out and popped away. And so will that Wolverine, and Crazy Raccoon might be able to just rob the second round away, and it's going to be map 1 for Crazy Raccoon.
It is going to be map 1. Holy, I feel like a bit of a brawl state right there. Very, very chaotic. A little labored as well, because we went, I believe, to 99% on both sides for both points, right? So really, the response in kind has been insane, to say the least. But Crazy Raccoon is just coming out with a bit more oomph from that perspective. Right? I'm looking at you, JT3. I'm looking at you, JMac as well, who has been on like so many different. I think they've played all 3 roles. JMac has.
In a way, a little bit, yeah.
In a way, yeah. I guess maybe not so much the strategist.
Right? Maybe not the strategist with the 109, but JMac was definitely flexing between characters. But Crazy Raccoon, they're looking good right now. They were starting to lose the sight at one point, but JT3 and Hyon were just somehow able to just find 2 quick trades, 2 quick eliminations, and it just allows Crazy Raccoon to just claw their way back.
They can really make waves, and it's actually a very strong reason, on top of why Mantis is such a power-hungry, damage-giving strategist, that Mantis gets consistently banned out so often.
Yeah, the Mantis, like you said, is one of the core characters needed to min-max the use of that Guardian's team-up ability, but here in the Asia region, that Mantis is usually banned out, so there is really next to 0 chance that you will pull it off reliably. But for now, everything in these picks, bans, and locks have been relatively the same, as both teams opting to use the Magneto and will save it for themselves. As we keep going, there we go. Mantis already gone for both sides.
Okay, but maybe towards the end we get some customization, some targeted bans. Luna Snow locked in for the set of Crazy Raccoons. I believe that's what they did the last map as well. Human Torch out of the way. Okay.
I like that.
That's a targeted ban. That's a targeted ban.
And it's a good one, indeed. Human Torch has been very, very strong in many of these matchups that we've been broadcasting throughout this entire tournament. Just the potential of just poking down, zoning a certain area of the map, as well as just having that burst damage to just jump right in, get in your face, deal a bunch of damage, and then most definitely get away to safety. And XO, they don't want to deal with a pesky Human Torch just wreaking havoc, especially when they want to operate a dive composition, but it's a matter of time if they want to decide on pulling through with this composition ideology. As XO, they are not going to have access to that Luna Snow.
Yeah, I thought they were hovering for the longest time. Crazy Raccoons, they were hovering over a ban against Spider-Man, but thought differently of it, having to work their way into Luna. Plus Mantis, those are actually 2 that are very, very popular. Great bans. XOXO, I was about to say that Ace was hovering over the Adam Warlock, but I'm not going to talk about potential so far. We really have to get into the heat of it to see what these players lock in. They're playing with their hearts every single time. So great start from there. Very, very strong bans, I want to say, coming out from the set of Crazy Raccoons.
Yeah, and quick thing to mention, XOXO do opt to go on the attacking side first. They did have the map choice. They also have the side choice as well, and they will opt to swing first. Get their first opportunity to get points, and as much as possible before it is Crazy Raccoon's turn. But now it's just a question of how will XO operate the composition. They opt to go for the attacking side. They won't have a Spider-Man that'll pull people into the abyss, to put it lightly.
Wow.
But for now, we cannot discuss this any further, as we do start map number 2. with XO on the attacking side.
Okay, J-Mac being the Wolverine up in the rafters is diabolical. I mean, I am terrified of a Wolverine that will come from the heavens basically and pounce onto you. So good luck to XOXO wants to really try and break themselves out. J-Mac trying to slice and dice, but can't find any value. That's gonna be the rampage coming out. But once again, targeting those vanguards with great shields and support from the strategists will keep everyone alive.
Yeah, and again, here we go. There's that dogfight happening as Vital the Vanguard comes out on top. Will take out one. J-Mac follows up with the second. As Crazy Raccoon are looking good in terms of holding down the fort. As Crazy Raccoon just gonna slowly fall back, slowly regroup, reposition themselves, take a little bit of a breather as XO. They are the ones on the hot seat right now.
You see, Doctor Strange is a flyer. Doctor Strange is a proper flyer with some insane plays there. J-Mac almost getting caught out, but manages to get away with their life. Has the last stand, to say the least. That's going to be a big one to contest as we start off with the Rage of Ultron. But we're countering.
Ooh.
No one gets caught off by the Meteor M. So High Vision's trying to do their best, but the shields are too much to bear. It's going to be Sung Hoon taken out. A 1-for-1 trade so far. A Karmic Revival to be able to bring back Sung-Woon, but we'll get stunned out by a great Eye of Agamotto.
Yeah, but for now, both teams are just wailing away with the strategist ultimates as well. So much damage on both ends, but it looks like XO finally looking to break through with the Freedom Charge, with the damage, with all of the team members just doing their job, doing their best, taking out players one at a time. As XO will finally move forward with the point. It took them a whole 2 minutes to make it work, but they are able to keep it moving in the end.
Yeah, Sungjuk now on the Captain America. Very interesting flex plays as Crazy Raccoons opts for a high ground portal. Let's see where exactly we are. Okay, the groups really wanted to take this corner for themselves and deny any sort of entry, but it's going to be Sungjuk trying to make themselves a bit of a mess. It's going to be Vital finding one-for-one trades, to say the least. And now, unfortunately, Crazy Raccoons has no more strategists to boot. It's going to be a quick wipe from the rest of these, especially with Dance of the Butterflies online. High-End tries to keep things interesting, but I think it's too much to bear as XOXO continue their rampage on to Phase 1.
Yeah, light little stagger on XO, but in the end, doesn't matter a whole lot. As Crazy Raccoon, if they want to defend or keep XO from taking this site for just a bit longer, they need to go in now. They need to find a way in. Sungjuk Woo is just zoning everyone of Crazy Raccoon, but is it too labored as J-Mac will trade his life for a Vanguard elimination as the Dance of the Butterfly will go wide as High Vision will take out Vital. Should be able to grab a second. Alone Fills will follow with a third, and that's going to be the first point. Over to XOXO01. Hyon willingly staggers his life. And for now, XO move forward.
They do indeed, right? Really finding a bit more momentum now goes the way. Perhaps that Captain America pick was just enough distraction, despite I think it drew basically 4 players from the side of Crazy Raccoons onto them, plus the life of a Wolverine. So that's a lot to bear. That's a lot of distraction. Now Captain America versus Captain America. J-Mac doesn't live up to the name, unfortunately, in this 1v1 battle. And so Sungjuk Woo back and regains it. But Vital even things out and keeps things interesting.
Oh, Vital makes it even more interesting with the double for himself. XO are a little bit staggered. They need to find a way to reset. They will back away quickly. Great awareness coming in from XO. They know they lost 2 members and they will back out accordingly. Just wait for a better opportunity to go in. But High Vision wants to make it interesting yet again as he's able to take out Hyon. Alone Fills will take out Vital as ultimates coming down left and right. This Meteor not going to land the mark from Zeta as Alone Fills. He's had some crazy Iron Man ultimates and he has it ready yet again. And he will not even need it. As XO, they're just going to keep pushing forward.
The clean shop, right? The discipline to be able to hold back your ultimates because you know you're in a 6v2 position. And so, play together, you will be able to make it. Crazy Raccoons has 4 ultimates to boot, has to at least get onto the point here. I see that Soul Resurgence, Fate of Both Worlds, that could be used to start things off. But we start with a Freedom Charge in that back line to maybe open things up. Especially because Seongjung was trying to disrupt this back line.
Yeah, Seongjung trying to draw the fire as Alone fails. He fires the pulse cannon. Can it land to anyone? It doesn't seem like it, as Crazy Raccoon are just cleaning up house somehow, some way. They're able to survive the barrage of ultimates coming from XOXO01, and they're able to hold.
Now, I mean, they've consumed a fair bit number themselves. The Goddess's Death plus the Fate of Both Worlds to be able to persevere themselves through. But it was all worth it, right? Able to hold that second phase, that second checkpoint just away from them. Alone Flits now back onto the Wolverine, to say the least. Seongjung Woo now onto the Hulk.
Dance.
It's going to be the dance of butterflies in the back line, trying to maybe work some magic together with the Captain America, but no one drops just yet.
Yeah, EXO still standing strong, still not having anyone go down. I say that as High Vision just gets taken out immediately, as Hyon waiting for an opportunity. The invisible boundary will buy a bit of time, but XO, they're able to clean up 2 eliminations. That's both of the strategists gone on the Crazy Raccoon. So it should be a surefire win of a fight for XOXO01, and it also will be a almost guaranteed second point, but it looks like Crazy Raccoon are going to force them to fight for it. They will not give this away free, as the invisible boundary will pop up, as well as Crazy Raccoon need to find an opportunity, as Hyon is able to win and beat out his doppelganger counterpart, as everyone else on both teams just piling on in as the overtime meter starts up, as XO need to find a way in. JT can't quite land that meteor just yet, but it looks like Crazy Raccoon are on pace to deny XO from a second point, until a desperation portal into the dance of the butterfly is going to deny any sort of comeback potential for XO, and they will not get that second point.
They won't. They were so close, and I like the body blocks, just able to hold back any sort of attacking portal from the side of XOXO to make themselves available. Touching the point, could not even get that to boot. Right, and beautiful plays. Honestly, I want to give it up to Hyen, who was in that backline being an absolute nuisance, right? Didn't overstep their boundaries until they knew that the rest of Crazy Raccoons could contest that second checkpoint, then really pushed themselves as a Psylocke, dropped their counterpart, and then cleaned up shop with the rest of their teammates.
Both teams doing their absolute best to win out any fight that they come across. So many 1v1, so many trades. These fights have been dead even for the most part, but only one of these teams can come out with a win. And XOXO01, they really need to hold. They only have a point to their name. Can they hold, or will Crazy Raccoon just stay true to their name, go absolutely crazy, and just run XO right over for a quick 2-0 of a series? But only time will tell as the gates open up. And now XO are on the defensive.
Yeah, very interesting start for the side of Crazy Raccoons, running with a... they just open things up with a triple Vanguard just to be able to make space. But now the doubles is... the 2-2 comes out true for them, just to be able to sustain more. Let's see Vital change out perhaps to make the Hela more available from themselves. They understand there's a lot of flyers here, and they want to press up against these aerial dogfights.
Yep, aerial dogfights is the name of the game. Vital just gets absolutely blown up by the airstrike coming down from EXO as they continue to take to the skies, as Hyon Wants to say something about it, but can't quite get the vantage point he needs in order to find an opportunity. As J-Mac and the rest of Crazy Raccoon, they find their opportunity, they find their moment, and they will quickly get this convoy moving.
Yeah, that's the thing about running this flower composition, right? The rest of your folks need peel, and unfortunately, you know, the invisible woman couldn't get themselves out. Ace thought they were safe, and so did a lone flint, but vital, absolutely vital for the side of Crazy Raccoons. A deadly one to boot.
Oh my goodness! I don't know how he landed that shot on the rocket. That was some impressive shots coming in. Oh, okay. There we go. Goodbye, Vital. Gets absolutely blown up with the portal into the pulse cannon combo. As everyone on XO really need to defend right now, as they are doing a good job, but Hyon has an opportunity to push this point a little bit farther forward as he's able to find high vision. And will regroup with the team for the time being, but for now, XO, they need to find more of these opportunities, more of these chances to come back into the game, as this Meteor will be used, will take out Rebirth. That's going to be one of the strategists on Crazy Raccoon being taken out. As Ace going to get traded out. These trades, again, just being dead even every single time, every single way. As J-Mac wants to disrupt this cycle of even trades, Vital will do the same. As Rebirth stockpiles on the eliminations for Crazy Raccoon, and they will move on forward. But can they get to that first point? It seems likely, as Sungjuk Woo switching over to the Doctor Strange, see if he can find a portal angle, but I would presume that portal is on a cooldown. But for now, everyone on XO trying to deny this point from being taken for the time being. But for now, XO are looking for more opportunities. They're looking for more chances. Another great defense coming in, but XO are able to find 2 picks of their own. Seita will add on a third. And XO will turn the fight around, will find a way to hold off Crazy Raccoon as they are slowly losing time.
They are indeed, right? Crazy Raccoons. I mean, J-Mac tried their best, honestly, to make some space for them, but XOXO had invested quite a number of ults, especially with that Eye of Agamotto to really open things up. But J-Mac's gonna be able to bring themselves here, but 30 seconds left, so they're really gonna have to make some plays.
Oh, Seita goes down. It's going to be dangerous. Seita actually goes down to the hands of JT3. Hyon will do the same as he's able to find another elimination. But Sungjuk Woo is able to respawn thanks to the BRB from Ace. Vital will find another pick of his own. But Crazy Raccoon, they need to move now. They need to move fast. And they will do so with the Fate of Both Worlds. But it already expires. But is it even going to be needed as the overtime meter starts up? But it looks like Crazy Raccoon will shut down XO.
Oh my gosh, this might go the absolute distance here. They're gonna be able to at least get this second checkpoint. No chance of a touch, but 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. So J-Mac takes to the skies instantly, and High Vision's really trying to work this terrain, maybe trying to bring down this temple. They want all these sidelines opened up as much as possible, or else J-Mac's gonna have a wondrous time getting into the back line. High Vision peels for the strategist. Captain America is out of there. Hand is on the other side, taken out.
Oh, whoa. Onefill's taking a lot of fire right now. Is able to just back away to safety. As Rez providing the heals, providing the sustain. High Vision will find one onto Vital. And XO are looking to force Crazy Raccoon back. Dances to the Butterfly going to be used. And there's no counterplay on the side of Crazy Raccoon. No strategist ultimate is going to be used. And High Vision will settle with 1. But keep your eyes. Keep your eyes on the Lonefills, though. He is hiding right now, and he's going to appear. But that pulse cannon is going to get absorbed by the Meteor. And JT throws it right back into the face of Sungjuk Woo.
Oh, an absolutely nasty work. And I feel like the fragments of XOXO are so easy for the group of Crazy Raccoons to bear. Yes, we've got J-Mac and Hyan kind of poking around in the back line, but everyone else is doing work, and unfortunately, it's on the side of Alone Flitz. Couldn't really find much value from that.
Yeah, at least Alone Fills can charge up that ultimate quite quickly as Hyan is able to dash in, finds an opening, but a great right click from the Cloak and Dagger is able to keep that strategist alive. Everyone else on Crazy Raccoon finding opportunities to go in, but Alone Fills is able to find a pick onto Rebirth before the invisible boundary is able to go down. Will that be the difference here as Alone Fills is able to wail down on the Goddess of Death to just minimize the value coming out of it as XO slowly but surely holding down the fort. 20 seconds is all they need from a map 3 force or a map loss as Crazy Raccoon again in the hot seat. They need to move again. They need to move quickly. JT3 will put himself onto the site for now, but needs to wait for the team to come in. The Fate of Both Worlds is going to be popped at a good time, but Vital is going to try to respawn, but then again, everyone else on XO are going to get popped. Actually, Crazy Raccoon are the ones getting popped as Hyan is able to find a resurrect, but it's not going to be enough. How in the world did XO hold?
How in the world indeed. They're able to clutch up on map number 2 and bring us to a map number 3. I mean, it was just so much dive that came out, and at the moment on their half, unfortunately, Crazy Raccoons didn't seem very coordinated with a semi-flyer, semi-grounded base composition. More often than not, a lot of their strategists were taken out fairly early in the game and allowed XOXO just enough steam to push their way through.
I'm genuinely surprised that Pulse Cannon only took out essentially only one member of Crazy Raccoon. Hyan was on the Star-Lord, was able to resurrect, but it's just too difficult for Seongjok Woo to find value, and he just tends to avoid it completely, at least for now in this first day of playoffs.
I'm also thinking about the peel that comes from some of these divers taking on to the back line. So far, you know, both teams have been responding to peels. I feel like they're sufficiently from that perspective. I don't really see either team kind of getting themselves a bit of an edge because they're responding to peels better. Although I will feel like Crazy Raccoons might have a bit more focused fire from that perspective.
Yeah. As we do move on forward, it's been literally the same, I think, in this entire series so far. So far, Magneto being saved away by both sides, Emma Frost being banned away, Loki being banned both sides, Mantis as well, but XO looking to lock the Ultron in, and it gets turned into a Wolverine. A very interesting move considering that XO are going to be on the defensive side in the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning. This still transfers over to the attack side. So, you know, having a Lone Flitz on the Wolverine. Okay, this is interesting. Why did Crazy Raccoons ban out Captain America? They actually saw XOXO lock in the Wolverine, so they have to presume that Seongjok Woo is going to be playing the Hulk. But perhaps they're playing contingency. They don't want the option to have to be given to XOXO. They want J-Mac to really be the one and only Captain America. That could be their play here.
Yeah, you could say that Crazy Raccoon just denies that dive potential coming in from XOXO01. Look at the position that they're in right now. They're not even considering the Wolverine pick as of right now. Oh my God, Seongjok Woo, you better stay on that Spider-Man. You better stay. You better stay. You're on the defensive side. So it's not bad of a position to be in. Seongjok Woo and the rest of XO, like I said, they're on the defense for the first time. Or at least in the first half of this map number 3. And it's going to be all eyes on Seongjok Woo, who finally whips out the Spider-Man. We did have some concerns for the Spider-Man pick not being picked at all in this matchup. considering that the amount of communication, the amount of counterplay that will be available on the opposing side, which is Crazy Raccoons. But Songjok Woo, we've seen him cook on this Spider-Man. And he switches out. Okay. Forget everything I said. Either way, forget everything. We're just gonna go into the map. Crazy Raccoon on the offensive side will opt to pick a route. Hyon is going to go in face first of Songjok Woo, who decides to reposition to his team. As Hyon just being a little annoying, just tickling down some of the vanguards, but he's able to find an opening, but can't quite find the burst damage through the portal, as JMac is able to actually get the first blood of map number 3. Immediately trade by a squid by a lone fills, and Crazy Raccoon now forcing their way onto the site.
It is, you know, that team up with Namor and the Hulk being an absolute nuisance, especially the squids being put on a 180. Songjok Woo on that puny Parker. Vital will make quick work of them. Oh, and another one alone fills, gets wrecked. And so that's going to be Crazy Raccoons finding so much momentum, as now Vital will be traded out with a bit of a dive coming up from High Vision.
Oh my gosh, the Dance of the Butterfly though from Hyon is going to seal the deal here, as Crazy Raccoon are able to push on forward. Should be able to secure the first point, unless there is a desperate teleport coming in, as Alone Fills tries to do something on this Black Panther, but gets absolutely destroyed in the process, as everyone on XO, they look desperate right now, as the Eternal Bond is going to bail everyone of XO out, as everyone will pile in, everyone will hold. And it seemed like Crazy Raccoon had the chance to secure the first point, but that teleport coming in by Songjok Woo is going to stunt that push for just a bit longer.
Plus, the Eternal Bond was so good, and a huge stagger against Vital, who couldn't, for the life of them, get their revenge onto a lone fill. So we'll be able to kind of duck around this top corner. Oof. The adjustments coming out strong, and XOXO have a lot of ultimates to boot as well, 5 to say the least, but so does Crazy Raccoon. So we're in a bit of a big trade for trade here. I think we'll start off with perhaps one of the Psylocks sussing things out, seeing if they can get some sort of leverage upon their opponents.
Oh, so many ultimates available on both sides. A total of 9 ultimates, and the first one will be used as this domino effect is going to take effect, as the meteor doesn't quite land on anyone. Neither does it do any damage, but Alone Fills can't find any sort of opportunities to find a pick, and it's going to be Vital that is going to take out this Iron Man. Hyon will take out Rez, and Crazy Raccoon, they got a bit delayed by the strange teleport, but in the end, they're able to secure that first point.
I feel so bad for Alone Fills, right? That plasma cannon goes wide, and then it gets immediately shut down by Vital, who comes out from, you know, their Goddess of Death, can go 1-2 snipe them out. Absolutely disgusting from that perspective. So Alone Fills has big shoes to fill, unfortunately. And Jarvis won't be clipping anything just yet. Unity Beam comes out to maybe focus fire onto this Magneto. The bubble saving their life in the nick of time, but it's a lot of pressure that once again XOXO can apply to the rest of the team. Hyon will find this opportunity to get one, but will be traded out by High Vision none the least.
These trades just keep on being dead even. But as I say that, Crazy Raccoon are down 2 players, as Ace is able to disrupt that even trade that we've been seeing all series long.
Okay, Songjok Woo plays the Black Spider-Man, the Venom. Always toying with our hearts. This character, just not giving us what the viewers want. Is now a brawl happens onto the side. Hyon peels for the rest of his team at the moment. It's a bit of a trade, but once again, Hyon will find their advantage against their counterpart. Fate of Both Worlds now forced, trying to shoot this Iron Man out of the sky. Will be forced to dip onto with the rest of their Fate of Both Worlds to be able to have the sustain here, waiting for the Fate of Both Worlds to come out of action. It's gonna be the Meteor M finding no value. Scratch that, Ace is taken out.
Oh my goodness, trades coming in left and right and center. That's been the name of the game for this entire series, but for now, Crazy Raccoon look to light up the feed as they're able to take down what is left of XOXO01. And they will continue their siege, they will continue their advance up to the halfway point, inching closer and closer towards that second point.
And High still held on to their Dance of the Butterflies nonetheless, so a huge win from that perspective. Ace quickly taken out, so this caused High to take to the back line and unleash. With their Dance of the Butterflies, we'll be able to find one plus a second. A single trade comes out, but Vital follows up with another for themselves. So XOXO looking like they're a bit of a scramble right now.
Yeah, they're very, very staggered at the moment. They need to find an opportunity in. The Lone Phils has the pulse cannon. He is creeping. He's lurking. Here comes the Freedom Charge by J-Mac to keep everyone alive. But here comes the Dance of the Butterfly, going to get denied by the Invisible Boundary as the Meteor is going to be released, but it's not going to do enough damage. That's going to be a costly mistake, maybe, but unless the Vanguards of XOXO01 are able to clean up two, a duelist will clean up a third, the second duelist will clean up a fourth, and that's going to be Crazy Raccoon falling to pieces with 30 seconds remaining.
Oh, great hold from the side of XOXO, right? Starting off with some pushes coming out from High Vision, forcing out the Invisible Boundary, but you know, with enough people playing around the outskirts of that boundary, we're able to really clean up shop. Now all eyes on J-Mac, Captain America, trying to lead these 6 stackers to their advantage. We'll be able to touch the point in the nick of time, so overtime will be forced. That's all they needed, but the Lone Fist is round the corner, wrecking havoc in their back line.
Oh no, if this Magneto goes down on the side of Crazy Raccoon, that might be a huge win for XOXO01. Feast of the Abyss is going to take out JT3. That's the Magneto down. This is an opportunity for Lone Phils to use that pulse cannon. He will, but it's not going to quite land the mark. It's not going to land onto anyone, but Lone Phils is still able to find Hyon as Zeta will stockpile on that feed in favor of XOXO01. A good bubble to keep J-Mac alive as Crazy Raccoon is still holding, need to push, need to find an opportunity as Vital will go down, so will J-Mac as XO, they look to hold as Hyon trying to do his best to keep everyone from EXO from pushing any further, but somehow, some way, Crazy Raccoon with a portal by Sunghoon is just going to hold, and try their best to keep this train, keep this convoy going. Hyon will res, but the stun is huge. XO, they are still trying to keep Crazy Raccoon from pushing onto the site as this overtime meter runs thin. The site so close to that second point, less than a meter remaining as Vital switches over to the Spider-Man, and Crazy Raccoon with the skin of their teeth will secure the second point.
Oh my gosh, the trades, the clutch plays coming out from Crazy Raccoons, the changes for heroes as well as the portal to get themselves back on the site was brilliantly done. And like you said, the skin of their teeth by a hair's width they got across. It was stalled at 70 cm, but were managed to get themselves across that second checkpoint and a bit more breathing room. But J-Mac doesn't want to sit on their laurels just yet, as that backline is attended to. This will cause XOXO to bring the fight over. Cosmic Revival bringing back JT3 to lead the charge, as well as that Fate of Both Worlds to push XOXO, a counter to say the least from XOXO to bring out Ace, a Fate of Both Worlds to keep everyone sustained.
Oh my goodness, so many ultimates being popped right now to try to stall somehow, some way. Crazy Raccoon got dangerously low in their total HP. High Vision is going to be unleashed with the final judgment. He's gotten so many multi-kills with this ultimate, but this time is no different. We'll find a double. Lone Phils will clean up with a third, but everyone on Crazy Raccoon just gets shredded, staggered, forced away, and the timer not looking so good in Crazy Raccoon's favor. Can they get to the point in time? Great snowball, great shove, and will it be enough? No! J-Mac with the Freedom Charge doesn't get there in time. These micro plays from EXO, the snowball, and then the shove is just enough to prevent JMac from forcing another overtime meter.
Oh, honestly, we talked about this during like map number 2.
Oh my
or the previous map on Spider Islands, right? The zone around the cart is so small, and JMac, I felt like they were but one step away from touching it and forcing an overtime on phase 3. Couldn't quite do it. Goes Captain America. So only 2 points to be made for the side of Crazy Raccoons, and once again XOXO are in a position, no chance of overtime, Dan.
No chance of overtime indeed. JMac is definitely fuming right now. He was so close.
Oh,
but in the
jeez.
end, it was Ace's snowball. It was Zeta's right click from the Magneto. That was enough, just barely enough, to deny an overtime meter within that round. And again, micro plays. They're going to add up here. And this time it was no different, as now XO, they just need 2 points and a little more. And that's all it takes for them to secure a Game 3 win. But step 1 is getting to that first point.
Hey,
This is going to be a
step
setup
one.
with the teleport. But JMac is lurking right now. He is trying to be a little bit annoying. As High Vision is whipping his turn around just to make sure JMac isn't doing anything silly. As the portal does open up, provides High Vision a vantage point to rain down that airstrike. We keep talking about it, some AC 130 action, as some players of Crazy Raccoon are going to take shelter under the portal that was used. But for now, Ace is just trying to keep everyone alive, as JMac is just right behind Ace, just trying to do some sort of damage, but it can't quite do a whole lot, as XO are just gonna push on forward. No one going down just yet. As soon as I say that, Hyon is able to find a pick onto Lone Phils. We'll find a second onto High Vision. 2 of the duelists on XO just going down immediately, and Crazy Raccoon looking to hold early in the round.
Very early in the round. I feel like who Sungjuk, right? Was no, not Sungjuk. It must have been Hyon, I guess, round the corner. Yep. That gave all that information, fed that over, said that hey, there's going to be some sort of top-down turret position with a teleport, with a portal from Strange somewhere. Be ready for it, and allowed these players to kind of split up and divide. JMac being a bit of a nuisance long enough. It's gonna be Hyon. Oh, it's slow lurk. No one realizes.
He almost has
the
ultimate.
Salak in the back line, and oh geez, the dive in plus JMac's gonna be a fine value, and out of there they go. They don't overstay their welcome, although they absolutely can, because the freedom charge is online. Nay, we fall back with the rest of the team. Just bleed out time.
Everyone on Crazy Raccoon has their ultimates. This is bad news for XO if they want to find an opportunity to push. Actually, then again, Zeta is close to getting that ultimate. We'll have it online now. It's only Songjok Woo without an ultimate right now. 11 players with their ultimates, and that domino effect starts right now.
It's absolutely gross at the moment. Afraid of both worlds to
Wait,
start
Lone
things
Phils.
off.
Look at him go! Can he find you? Oh my god! Oh my god! Alone Phils! I'm at a loss for words right now. Crazy Raccoon get absolutely obliterated. How does Alone Phils get away with this?
There's only so much. There's only so much a Fate of Both Worlds can do, right? It's that burst damage that's just absolutely, undeniably gross coming out from this Iron Man. And it's a diabolical to say the least, and we're just following things up. Songjung not spotted in this corner as well, could wreak havoc, and now Hin will come up with a dance of the butterflies alongside with JMac trying to make work on this back line, but Alone Flits high up in the sky providing aerial support for the rest of their team.
I think Alone Phils is providing more than aerial support. He's providing the hard carry for XO right now, as they're trying to push on forward already at the halfway point. They need to go a little bit further, but JMac has something to say about it, so will Hyon, as they will team up to grab 3. JMac dangerously low, but he does have the strategist having his back and is able to get away to safety. XO, 3 minutes remaining, thanks to a ridiculous ridiculous pulse cannon by Alone Fills. Speaking of which, we'll have it up very, very soon.
Oh, I
And
think we've
will
been made
he
some
find-
move. Now has to evac their way out. Oh, geez, the slow creep once again. We'll see as the final judgment on the other side comes out. Vital just trying to mow down everything.
But can he use it? Oh my goodness, he finds another multi-kill with the pulse cannon as Ace cleans up a third. Alone will find a triple as this aerial support, this flanking Iron Man, to say the least, is just so threatening for Crazy Raccoon. They can't find any room. They can't find an advantage. And XO are going to keep this siege going, but Crazy Raccoon are starting to pile in, starting to provide support, and are able to defend for the time being, as Alone Fills is trying to charge up his left clicks, trying to charge up that damage, but Vital is just tracking him down as J-Mac finishes the job, and Crazy Raccoon will hold for just a bit longer.
Okay, the adaptation, right? Punisher now coming out to hopefully punish the Iron Man. Can't get away scot-free, especially with Vital raining bullets from this top position, doing so much damage. Hopefully refreshing those cooldowns. We'll have to eventually get out of there and join up with the rest of the team here on the side. It's going to be Fate of Both Worlds used to counter the Dance of the Butterflies from Heian, who gets away scot-free. But on the other side, Sung Jin Woo will drop to Vital, an important vanguard to say the least.
Yeah, we'll see how it turns out. There's the Meteor coming in from Zeta, going to find Rebirth. That's one of the strategies down for Crazy Raccoon. This is a great opportunity for XO to make a push going, but it's going to be another strategist going down. But on the flip side, both Luna's going to be out of the fight for just a few seconds. As Hyon trying to find an opportunity onto Alone Fills, who has been the hero for XOXO01 for this series, for this map number 3, as Hongjuk Woo switches to the signature Spider-Man, but he gets shut down by Rebirth, and so will the rest of XOXO01. 30 seconds left, they get wiped, and they only have one good fight remaining.
They have one good fight remaining. The Dance of the Butterflies online. Alone Flits possibly can charge up one more pulse cannon. That might be the make and break for everything. So they'll have to really clear up as many ultimate percentages as quickly as possible. 7 seconds. Overtime is charged. They know they've broken at so much terrain just to be able to keep eyes on this Iron Man.
Yeah, they know where he is. They learned their mistake. They don't want to make that same mistake again, but Alone Fills is just providing so much damage, and he goes undetected for the time being. They have a general idea. Oh my god, Alone Fills. Oh no, he got spotted. He got spotted. He needs to run the hell away, as another 1-for-1 trade. The Dance of the Butterfly will trade out one of the strategists. But XO, they need to find an advantage, and that their avenue of a comeback is going to get shut down. Alone Fills is going to get shut down and will be taken out for a few seconds. A 3-man stun from Sungjuk Woo, but there is no follow-up. There is no chance. There is no way for XO to come back. A desperation portal, it seems, as the Fate of Both Worlds by Ace will buy a bit of time. Alone Fills is back in the fight. Here he goes. He's going to throw the cannon, but it's gonna get denied by JT3's Meteor, and Ace goes down in return. XO cannot get it done, cannot finish the job, and Crazy Raccoon will find a win in game number 3.
And the player cams show it all. You see XOXO smiling, grin across their faces. They know that they tried their best from that perspective. They really put Crazy Raccoons up for a huge fight, and ultimately it came down to some hero plays. But in this game of 6v6, you cannot rely on these sole hero plays. Jarvis is working overtime in the backlog, and Crazy Raccoons, with the skin of their teeth, are going to be able to keep themselves in the running in these upper brackets.
Oh my gosh, Jarvis worked overtime, but it was all for naught. Still came out in a match loss. Alone Fills, like